Well, today I have our son, Bret.
Hello.
He's visiting us from Texas. We're so happy that he's here. And when he comes, I beg him to sing with me, and he's sweet, and he does. But today we're going to sing Amazing Grace, a favorite of everyone's. And it was written by John Newton in 1772. Listen to this backstory. His mother died when he was young. He had issues with authority. He joined the Royal Navy, went to Africa, and was a jerk to his crew, and they abandoned him, which is never good. Anyway, he wanted to get back to England. He was from England. And so he ended up having to be a servant to a slave trader on his voyage back. And on the voyage back to England, the ship was in a big bad wreck.
Okay.
And he almost died. And that's where his faith story kind of started there.
Got it.
Because he was scared he was going to die.
Makes sense.
So he prayed and asked God to save him and that he would serve God. But it didn't last real long. Because when he got back to England, guess what he became? A slave ship master. And anyway, so then he did that for several years, and he was not nice to the slaves, had bad behavior. He did multiple trips bringing slaves from Africa to England. Anyway, but later he got really, really sick, so sick that he quit on a sea voyage. He says, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Okay.
And then after that, he devoted his whole life to serving God.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, he was ordained as an Anglican priest in 1764, and he became very popular as a preacher and a hymn writer. He wrote over 280 hymns, and he wrote this hymn, Amazing Grace, with only hymns, and it was written with William Cowper. So
Okay.
it'll always say that, like when you look at the title, it says Newton and Cowper, and then also it's set to a tune called New Britain. So he wrote the words set to a different tune. But
Got
guess
it.
what he did in later years? He worked to abolish slavery.
Really?
Yeah. He wrote a tract and sent it out, and he got to live to see the Slave Trade Act of 1807.
How awesome is
I know.
that?
That's a good end, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. So it's a good end to the story.
Nice.
And let's sing it together, Amazing Grace. But
Let's
we're
do
going to
it.
have a good time.
Let's have a good time.
Right.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's grace than when we first